The faithful Daniel. In Daniel chapter 6, it is the story of Daniel and the lion's den, which is similar to Daniel chapter 3, in which a fiery furnace was used as a threat. Darius's official plotted against Daniel in verses 4 to 5, and the king, no doubt of vanity, fell in line with the plot and became entrapped in his own system of supposedly permanent laws in verses 6 to 9 and 12 to 14. Daniel is faithful to God, and the king recognizes the capacity of Daniel's God to rescue and save those who sought to kill Daniel or themselves killed. Testimony, prayer, and trust are the most important factors in Christian life. So in this video, we will talk about Daniel on how he showed dedication and loyalty to God even in the face of death. So what are the things that we can learn from Daniel? So number 1, he is favored by the king because he has a good testimony. In Daniel chapter 6 verse 3, then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. If we have a good testimony, people will believe us. So according to Matthew 5 verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Because Daniel's testimony and dedication to God, the king believed. In Daniel chapter 6 verses 26 to 27, it says there that, I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel, for he is the living God, and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. In verse 27, he delivereth and rescueth, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who had delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So in conclusion, how is your testimony? Maybe we messed up, maybe we are half-hearted, and maybe we are sometimes compromising, but take heed that there is always room for a change. Ask God for strength to change yourself and to become a person of good testimony. If people will see the changed life in us, they might believe. So number 2, he is dedicated in prayer because he is faithful and he loves God. In Daniel chapter 6 verse 10, now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God as he did aforetime. If we love God, we will constantly talk to him because you love to talk to someone you love, right? In 1 Thessalonians 5:17, it says there that pray without ceasing. So we can talk to God through prayer. Because Daniel, he is consistent in his prayer life. That's why he has a close relationship with God. And according to James 4:8, draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Let's ask ourselves, do we have a consistent prayer life? We can learn a lot from Daniel. He is a very dedicated person and a man who truly honors God. If we want to be closer to God, we must have a constant communication with Him through prayer. So number 3, he is not afraid of danger because he knows that God is with him. According to Daniel chapter 6 verse 22, my God had sent his angel and had shut the lions' mouths, that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him innocency was found in me. And also before thee, O King, I have done no hurt. So hindi nasaktan si Daniel at all doon sa lions den. God will never abandon His faithful children. That's why we have to be faithful. According to Psalms 23:4, yet though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So, of course, in conclusion, the faithful will always have God's favor because the Lord rewards faithfulness and chastises sinfulness. God is faithful and just, and He will never forget our labor and love. Daniel is a good example of a man who has a good testimony, a man who is dedicated in prayer, and a man who is brave in the face of danger. He is a faithful child of God. So marami tayong natutunan sa buhay ni Daniel that we must be faithful to God. To God be the glory.